Hello, welcome to Puffin Storytime. I'm Minnie Gray and I'm going to be reading you the story of The Last Wolf. This story happened because I was thinking about the story of Red Riding Hood and I thought, what if Red, instead of going into the woods to take goodies to Granny, what if she was trying to catch a wolf? Well, in the woods in Britain today there are no wolves, but in a story you can make anything you want happen. So I thought, well, what if there was a wolf? One last wolf. And what if that last wolf was living in a tree? And in the tree there was a door. And behind the door there was a room where the wolf was living. And maybe living with the wolf was also some other animals. Maybe there was the last bear, and also maybe there was the last lynx, because we used to have bears in the woods in Britain hundreds of years ago, but we haven't got them anymore. And we used to have lynxes in the woods hundreds of years ago, but do you think we've got them now? So here's the story of the last wolf. The last wolf wanted a wolf. If you see one, tell Red. One day, little Red put on her hunting hat and boots, flung her pop gun on her back, packed up her lunchbox with some supplies and said to her mum, "I'm off to catch a wolf." "That's all right," thought Red's mum to herself. "There haven't been a wolf around here for at least 100 years. Good luck, Red," she said, "and don't be late for tea." Red went a-stalking through the forest. She lurked behind a tree and jumped out on a bin bag. She slithered through the bracken and pounced on a tree stump. Red wandered deeper into the forest. It grew shadowy and she lost her path. There were wooling noises and grabby twigs. Red started to run. She ran and tripped. But what was this? Some sort of a door. She tried the doorknob and knocked and banged, and the door was opened by the last wolf in the land. The last wolf was living in a cosy tree cave along with the last lynx and the last bear. "You must be a human child," said the last wolf. "I've never seen one up close before. Come and sit down. You're just in time for some tea." "I didn't know wolves drank tea," said Red. "There may be quite a few things you don't know," said the last wolf. They gave Red a cup of tea and told her about the good old days. The good old days when there was endless miles of forest to run through and 1,000 tasty grazing beasts to bite. The good old days when the world was awash with flowers and bees and dripping with honey. The good old days when you could just lie on a tree branch and wait for lunch to wander right under your paws. Nowadays, catching a square meal is a difficult business. The pickings are slim and the packaging's hard to get into. They looked longingly at little Red. "My, what huge hungry eyes you have," she said. And out of her lunchbox she took a hard-boiled egg, a sausage roll, a chicken sandwich and an apple. "It's not very fast on its feet, this egg," said the wolf. "It's quite easy to catch, this sausage roll," said the bear. The last lynx chased the chicken sandwich round and round the cave until it was wounded. Red ate the apple and wondered how she could help. But it had grown late. "It's getting dark," said Red, "and my mum will be starting to miss me." She thought of the shadowy wild wood that was waiting outside. "I think," said the last wolf, "we'd better walk with you until you find your path." So little Red and the last wolf and the last bear and the last lynx wound their way back through the last woods that were left, until they reached the very last tree and saw the lights of Red's house and her mum missing her. "Don't forget your lunchbox," said the last bear. "Goodbye, you wild things," said Red. "I think I know what you need." But they'd already gone. After dinner, Red's mum found a sign on Red's bedroom door. Wanted. More trees, please. If you see some, tell Red. Well, we better make some, said Red's mum. All you need is a seed and some earth and sun and air and water, and for a really wonderful tree, about 100 years, one day, these trees will be amazing. So now grab some paper and I'll show you how to make your own Last Wolf treehouse. So we're going to make a Last Wolf treehouse, and what you'll need is some stuff. You're going to need 2 pieces of paper, just ordinary photocopy A4 paper is great. Then something to draw with, like pencil or pens, whatever you can find. Some colours. I've got some not very good crayons here, or felt tip pens would be good. Something to cut with, basically scissors, and some glue stick or some white PVA glue. Ruler can come in handy. Okay, so that's the kit we'll need. Let's get started. So I've got my 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to put one piece to one side for the moment, and this piece of paper I am going to first fold in half. So got it landscape, folding it, match that corner, and then fold it in half like this, and really crease it well, because then it makes it easy to tear it. So I can now tear this into 2 halves, and I'm going to put one half aside for later, take my other half, have it landscape, and then fold this one and tear it in half too. So match those corners, give it a really good crease, and then tear it. Okay, there we go. So now we've got 2 more halves, even smaller. I'm going to put one of these to one side and then take my other one, and now I'm going to tear this one in half. So I'm going to match the corners, and there we go, really crease it, tear in half. There we go. So now this little piece here is going to be my door. So you can see it's like 1/8 of the whole A4 paper. So door, I'm going to do a line along the bottom, and then a side line going up the side, and another line going up the side, and then my door's going to be an arch shape, so I'm going to go over the top to make an arch. Doorknob in the middle, there we go. Something for the doorknob to go on, which I don't know the name of at all, and then also a letterbox, so I'm going to put in a rectangle for the letterbox shape, and then that bit's where the letters get posted in, and make it into a wooden door. So I'll put some lines for the woodiness of the wood door going up there like that, something like there. Okay, and some colour might be good, so let's have a go with the not very good crayons. There we are, some not very good crayon, and then maybe a bit of yellow on there as well. Okay, so a bit of colour on my door. Now I'll cut the door out. So in with the scissors around here. There we are. And cut out. Oh dear, cut that bit off. There we go. Okay, got my door. Okay. So now get my bit of paper that I didn't tear up, and I'm going to pop my door on it. Let's have a look. So somewhere near there. Let's draw round the door. So round we go. Round there. Okay, so I've done that. I think I'm going to just go around it with pen as well. There we go. Now this side here is going to be where the door hinge is. So I'm going to cut my door, but I'm not going to cut there because that's where the hinge should be. And to get started on cutting, one thing you can do is if you have some plasticine, you can push your scissor into the plasticine and it makes it really easy to get a little hole in to get started with the cutting. So now I can cut along my door, but not cut down the bit where the door hinge is going to be. So I'll stop there, so I haven't cut it all out. And now I can fold this, and there we go, got a door that opens and shuts. Now I want to glue this my door on, so I'm going to get the bit of paper. So I've got one little tiny bit, the bit that was medium sized, and I can use that to help me glue. Put some glue on the door and stick it on. There we go. And now the other teeny little bit I can use to put behind my door, so that when I open the door there isn't just a hole. So I will flip my whole page over, stick the slightly gluey piece of paper underneath so I don't glue all over the table, and then I'm going to put some glue on the sides, but not on the top and bottom. There we go, with some glue. There we are. So now I've got a door that can open and shut. So now we need to draw the tree and also put the lid on the glue stick. Okay, so let's get doing. So trees have a trunk. That is the wide bit. So let's do the edge of the trunk here and an edge to the trunk here. And then they have roots at the bottom that suck all the moisture out of the soil. And so let's do some wavy roots at the bottom of this big old tree. More wavy roots and just some wavy lines for rootiness at the bottom. There we go. Now the tree is going to have lots of branches coming out. So I'm going to do a branch going out and over there. And now I'm going to do the other side of the branch coming out and over there. But ooh, at the end it's going to flare out so I can do some little smaller branches coming out. Then I'll do another branch on the other side. So coming out, oh, it's going over that way. Okay. And then another side on this branch. Coming out. Whoa, there we go. And then the further you go out on branches, the twiggier they get and the thinner the branches get. So I'm going to do another branch coming out with some twiggy bits coming off it, and another branch coming off this way. How many am I going to fit in? I don't know, but let's see. Okay, so there's another branch coming out. I think I'd like to fit two more in, but let's see how it goes. Okay, now another one coming out that way, and the other side to this branch. Maybe I can make it go right, really twiggy at the end here. Some twigginess coming out here, and then I think there's going to be one last branch here. So coming out here, whoa, and then another side to this branch. There we go, coming out like that. And then I can do more twigs on my tree. One more twigginess, extra treesiness. Okay, there we go. And I could put a sign on my tree. So let's put a sign here. And we can put more trees, please, on the sign. And we could have a little window there, a little window there, some windowy bits there. And then I can make my tree look more treesy by making some texture on my tree. So let's put some bark texture on, so just some little lines to be a bark kind of texture. And there's sometimes trees have bits where branches fall off and it makes kind of strange round shapes on them, and you could more or less make up any kind of shapes and patterns and put them on bark for your tree. So there we go, more spiral patterns and some more bark lines going on there. There we go, and a few more over here. There's more there. There we go. And if I want, I can get a thinner pen, do a bit more. And you could put some colour on your tree as well, but I think I'm just going to keep it black and white here for the moment. Put as many little twigs on as you want. So, this tree's all very well, but it looks a bit wintry, doesn't it? I think it needs some leaves. There's lots of different ways that you could make leaves. You could just draw them on your tree. You could stamp them on your tree. So here I've got a stamper, leaf-shaped stamper, and some ink. And I could try stamping leaves, which would be really nice, but you might not have that. Another thing you could do is you could get lots of different coloured papers and cut out leaves out of lots of different types of paper, but you might not have lots of different types of paper. So what do you do if you haven't got anything except ordinary paper and some rubbish crayons? Well, what you can do is make your own coloured piece of paper. So I'm just going to go in with my rubbish crayons and scribble all over this paper. I just keep going with lots of different colours. And you might want to speed your way through this bit. Okay, so there's some yellow, and I'm going to put on, ooh, I've got some dark blue. That's not working very well. Let's try some green. That's quite good, I'm liking the green. Have I got another green? Another green. So the great thing about leaves is being green. You can either use green or you can put yellow and blue together to make your green, which is super exciting. So I'm going over it all with my yellow now. So if you've got a yellow and you've got a blue, you can make green leaves. Okay, so that should do the job. Okay, so now I am going to take my leaves and fold them in half, and then fold them in half again. Okay, so just show that what I did. I folded them in half, and then I folded them in half again. So I've got a long bit like this. And then I'm going to cut out leaf shapes. So my leaf shape I'm going to cut out is going to be two roundy, circly sides that come together in points. And so that's going to be the shape I'm going to keep cutting out of this piece of folded up paper. So here comes a leaf. There we go. And here comes another leaf. And the leaves aren't all the same size, so it doesn't matter if they all go different sizes. Here's another leaf. Here comes some more. Whoops, cut the whole thing in half. And here comes some more. Whoops. There we are. And then let's go see if I can. I wonder how many more I'm going to get out of here. Another set of leaves there. I think I'll just get one more leaf out of that. There we go. So now I've got a little pile of leaves. I'll bring back my tree and let's get sticking leaves on it. Okay, so whatever glue you can find, I'm going to use my glue stick, and I'm going to start to dip the end on, and then I can pop a leaf on. Put the end in, put on a leaf. And so off we go with putting leaves on. Trees are so brilliant. Think of all the things trees give to us. They give you shade. They give you oxygen that they send out into the atmosphere. They suck up carbon dioxide. They give out moisture, so they make they kind of almost make rain because they put moisture into the air. And trees also are a fantastic place for lots and lots of animals to live in. So an oak tree can have just hundreds of different sorts of species of insects and birds and tiny critters and animals living all around it. And trees are also sort of multi-level, so they make the kind of they make sort of three-dimensional place with lots of levels for all sorts of different things to live in. This tree is looking much more alive. Brilliant. Oh, one last leaf. The very last leaf that nearly got away. Okay. Where can you go? I don't know. Yeah, I'll put you up here. Okay. So now, very importantly, I am remembering to put the lid back on my glue. And I've got a tree and I've got a door in my tree. So I need someone to be inside my treehouse. So I've got this last piece of paper. It was a quarter piece of paper that was left that I used to help with the gluing. And now I can fold it in half to make some characters. But I only have time to make one. But you could make two. So I've got 2 bits left. So, so here we go. I'm going to make a wolf to live in this treehouse. My wolf drawings usually go a bit wrong, so let's be prepared for that. And now some ears, so pointy ears. There we go. Pointy ears. There we go. And some eyes. There's 1, 2 eyes. Put some pupils on the eyes. Some eyebrows. It's quite small, so let's do our best. Now some nose. So here comes the nose. There. With a back bit on the end. And then some fur coming down the side. And now a paw. So I'll do the paw and the arm. And there's some paw on the end there. And then another paw coming around here with some paw there. Okay, and now some body coming down. Ooh, and some legs. So let's do one leg. There, that'll have to do. Wasn't what I was expecting, but hey ho. And another leg. And some toes. And the legs really aren't quite the right shape, but never mind. There we go. And some fur at the chest. Lovely. And don't forget the tail. Really furry tail on my wolf. There we go. So there's my wolf. I need to cut him out. So I'm going to leave the bottom bit on and just cut round it out, sort of vaguely the shape of the wolf. There we go, and cut around the ears, and cut round the outside, and cut round the tail, and then I've left that bottom bit on there because I can pop that bottom bit down there, and it'll hold my wolf in. So now here we have a last wolf treehouse. There we go. I hope you have fun making your own last wolf treehouse. Thanks for watching this Puffin draw along, and goodbye.